Hey guys, I'm back with our Booster Box update and I'm excited because Stellar Crown finally surpassed the 220 mark. It's at 221.85. It took one sale, someone finally bought that cheaper box, or actually two sales maybe. I do see these cheaper boxes bought yesterday at 204, 214. Maybe they were shipping. I don't really know. But Stellar Crown has been so close to 220 for so long and it finally surpassed it. And it's not even that far from 224, 225. And yeah, I'm actually seeing a lot more momentum from the market today. Paradox Rifts and SC Base are really close to it, and also a lot of Sword and Shield boxes are suddenly rising in demand and supplies getting pretty low. This was after a pretty slow day yesterday. A lot of days with zero sale, a lot of boxes with zero sales. Pretty slow day yesterday, and like I said, that it's pretty common once or twice a week for the market to slow down. But each time I'm always like, man, did I make the wrong decision? You still get that emotional feeling. I don't know if that will ever go away. Maybe with a ton of experience, but I still get that feeling. And I'll go over what has changed. But yeah, Stellar Crown, it's at its new all-time high. It's up 585 from yesterday. It's been 216 for about a week straight. You see all these days just 216. Even before that it was 218 a lot. So it's finally there. Let's see what else. So Paldea evolved. Paldea Evolved has been having an interesting thing. You see it's starting to correct a little bit. The graph is finally dipping down. The thing is also yesterday, after having no sales on July 10th, yesterday 12 boxes were bought, which is the third most number of boxes this month. And so that helped flush out some of the cheaper supply. And honestly, I don't really think Paldea is quite done yet. Are they requiring us to make accounts now? Maybe. I might need to make a T-Sheet player accounts. Did not really realize that. And yeah, but 12 boxes sold. And the thing with Paldea is I keep seeing cheap ones appear, and what I'm also noticing is I'm starting to see some cheaper sellers. I see Poke Realmic, Poke Real M LLC. I think I keep seeing him in some of the listings, so I'll call that out when I see it. I see it over here for Obsidian, but I think it's been we're just seeing doesn't seem like a big seller. Just seems like we have a bunch of sales on a bunch of things. So right now Paldea Evolve is pretty cheap at 353 from that seller. But I keep seeing the prices go back near the previous high of the previous high was about 380. I think it's 382, 383. 380 is right here. There's not that many boxes available. And so yeah, Paldea Evolve is not quite done yet, but it's correcting a little bit. I think that some of the momentum has gone away, but 12 boxes sold shows that it's not really quite done yet. And yeah, it's still seeing a lot of positive signs. I'll just go in order for the rest of Scarlet Violet base. Scarlet Violet base sold 3 yesterday. Demand's been a little higher the last 2 days, sold 3 yesterday, 5 the day before. And yeah, we're just really close to 220. I think people are really prepared for that price jump pretty soon. So 220, going past 220 is officially about, I think here, I think this would be about 222. Actually, no, am I doing 221? These are exactly 220, and these are 219. They're just really close to 220. So it's going up. You see it's suddenly just going up like that, and at least in the graph. So yeah, July has been a good month for Scarlet Violet base, and it's just been taking off, even though it hasn't even been selling amazing, consistent, 2 per day except for the last 2 days, but not amazing. And this seems like a normal looking FOMO graph. People are like, okay, yeah, whatever, we have time, whatever, and then suddenly at the end people buy a lot more. So, and then the price just keeps going up. All right, so Obsidian Flames, Obsidian Flames, it's down to 238. Someone asked me what the price was yesterday. I said 245. I kind of forgot that went down that day, but 3 sold yesterday, 2 sold today. That was after also having 0 sales on July 10th, just a really slow day on July 10th. But yeah, I see Poke Realmic again having 4 boxes, and the previous, where it was before around 247 is right here. So it's just these 3 sellers selling at the lower prices. So I'm just seeing a bunch of smaller lower price sellers. They don't even have a lot of sales, and It's just like a bunch of sales essentially. There's not even a lot of boxes at 247. Like I see 250 over here, so like there's some also positive signs. Like remember Surging Sparks, not quite the same. Not it won't always happen. Surging Sparks, I was talking for like I think a whole month or two about how like hey Surging Sparks looks really undervalued. Like it just baffles me how cheap it was in the 210s, 220s, and I was like there's a bunch of sellers obviously like you can see the data of the sellers who really know the real value and they're like pricing it higher, and it just took a while for it to sell out. And that's kind of what I'm seeing with like Obsidian Flames a little bit. Like there's not like even though like there's some cheaper sellers here, like it was pretty stagnant before where a lot of people were around 245, 247, and it goes to 250. Like 250 is still on the same page, so don't like underestimate like that's why you have to know there's between like a sale and like an actual like stagnation sometimes. But you know, we don't always know exactly what happened in the market, but just kind of my take. Like these are sometimes signs of different things to come. Paradox Rift also has 0 sales on July 10th, then picked up and sold 5 yesterday and 2. And I was really excited when I first saw this because like I was in a daze. I didn't get that much sleep yesterday, to be honest. But I was like doing math and I was like, wait, is that 220? And I was like, no, that's like 219. So or two. This is at 218. Oh my god, yeah, 219, 24, 23. And yeah, I think this is the highest that Paradox has ever been. And I think I was remembering the data in the past correctly. I was looking the past and I thought it's been by like close to 220 before, but I actually couldn't really see any like sales data. That's like I see I guess it's 215 over here. But otherwise, Paldea has been recently just hitting all-time highs, or I'm saying Paldea, I'm at Paradox. But yeah, the highest I see is about 215, and then after that goes back around May. It was back in the 200s. So these are like unprecedented prices for Paradox, which I didn't realize that yesterday. But yeah, it's pretty unprecedented what's happening. So yeah, it's about if the previous high was about 215, it's about $4 more than its previous high. It's about to break 220. I think Paradox Rips it's really about to take off. We're not really sure. SD Base, Paradox Rift, Stellar Crown, those are all boxes like similarly priced, all kind of in a similar vein, except that Stellar Crown is not gonna be our rotation for Stellar 2R, but people aren't really sure which one will do like the best kind of long term. But there's definitely like some momentum for each of them. 220 is surpassing 220 is right here, and it's not like a ton of boxes. That's 5. It's about 10 boxes. So watch for Paradox Rift. You can see the graph going up. Like you just see a lot when you really look at the 1 month graph. You just see a bunch of this increase. You're seeing that for Scholar Base. See like this increase over here. Paldea already kind of had it, but Paldea just had its insane one that it had it for the whole month. Paldea is down technically about $4. Obsidian is down about $2 with the sales. Just putting out the data out there for you guys. Even Temporal already had its one recently, and yeah, just a lot of graphs just going and then that. So yeah, Temporal, it's already had its run up past 220. It's just pretty stable around 227, like you know, like mid 220s to the 230 mark. It's kind of where it's at. Like I do see some 240s out here, but it hasn't really had like a ton of momentum. But yeah, 2 sold yesterday, 1 sold today. It was also one of the boxes on June 10th, which had 0 boxes sold. Twilight, it had a little extra demand at 4. Like there's been 200 days sold 4, but honestly, like Twilight hasn't been selling as well. Like you know, I'm comparing that to Paldea too. Like you know, Paldea sold 12. The most number of box people above Twilight has been 4, so people haven't really been buying that much Twilight relatively, at least on TCG Player. And yeah, I've just been seeing a lot of 285, so it's not really quite there yet. You know, it's been at 293 before, so I'm still holding my breath on Twilight a little bit. Stellar Crown I already talked about, and Stellar Crown, yeah, its price run up. It was kind of like here in June it was kind of low and then kind of like went up. It hasn't quite updated to show the rest of it. And then Surging Sparks, it seems honestly like it's kind of stabilized, but Surging Sparks has had a similar trajectory like that. So I remember thinking like I was like I wonder if a lot of this like Surging Sparks driven, and a lot of them are following the same kind of path. Like they are having this upward trend on the graphs, and there are some cheaper Surging Sparks from these 2 sellers around 235. and then after that it goes like 250. So I don't know, for some reason there's always like a few sellers trying like selling like pretty below the market price for certain sparks, like 250 versus 235, $15 off. I do see more sellers bunching up a little bit around the 250 to 253, so a bunch of prices might be starting to stabilize for certain sparks. I'm not really sure. Demand was only about 5 and 1, but I wouldn't. Certain sparks, you shouldn't fully underestimate it. Like, I think it still has a lot of potential. Everyone knows it's a pretty good set. All right, and then on Sword and Shield, I had a couple of notes on this, so I'll just kind of go in order. I don't fully remember all of them in order. So Sword and Shield base, there's nothing. Rebel Clash is not really anything. Darkness Ablaze, it sold 1 yesterday, and it sold at 227.90, 224.98. Oh yeah, $274.98, so $275. So there's been like the cheaper one over here for about $244, and then the price would go up to $275. But someone just went ahead and bought one of these more expensive ones. So some higher sales for Dark Displays. Also, just a quick interject: I have a live stream today at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. By the time you watch this video, it might already be starting. But yeah, come if you have time or you just want to hang out, ask questions. It'll be my first live stream with Mischief TCG. All right, so Vivid Voltage sold 3 yesterday, 2 today, and Vivid Voltage was like looking like it was kind of declining quite a bit. But suddenly, like a lot of the cheaper supplies been bought. Like I saw it head toward 230, then it went back to 210, so a $20 drop, and now it's back up to 225 essentially. There's only 2 boxes left at that price, and we're gonna see 230 boxes for Vivid Voltage pretty soon, which, you know, you could have, like, I know everything's going up, but I remember you could have bought like this on Pokemon Center like last year, around this time, or actually I think it was even this year. I think it sold out early this year. I don't remember the exact month. I think it was within the first 4 months of the year, and yeah, it sold out. And you could buy for Pokemon Center for $144 plus tax. Not that I think it's the best investment or anything, but it is up $13 all of a sudden. Versus Orange Abyss is down $1 for some reason. Battle Styles also had some more sales. So what I'm seeing with Sword and Shield is that Sword and Shield has been seeing more sales yesterday as well. 4 sales of Battle Styles, and I've been waiting for it to cross 210. Hasn't quite reached there yet, but definitely seeing just more sales for Shield, so just supports the pattern. Chilling Reign, there weren't any sales. Not as much interesting things with Chilling Reign. There's still this cheaper box here at 230. Then the price is still hovering around 235 over here. Evolving Skies. So Evolving Skies has there's been more the Asian ones, so the Chinese and the Korean boxes sold yesterday. But Evolving Skies, we're seeing more sellers selling between like around about 1960. So there were like a few days ago there was like only 1 to 3 boxes between 1900 and 2000, like in the mid-range, and now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes all around. It's kind of the same price, and so there's a bunch of more there's more Evolving Skies on the market at the moment after a lot of cheaper ones have been bought out. But it definitely has been a shift, because there was a bunch of cheaper boxes for like, some of them were below 1900, some were like the 1920s, and now all these sellers are trying to sell around 1960, 1970. Fusion Strike, seeing also similar things where 3 boxes sold the last 3 days, and suddenly I don't see the cheaper boxes anymore. There were a bunch of cheaper boxes. Did I see a bunch of like 760s essentially? A little more over here. This like 777, something like that. I'll just go back a page just to make sure that there wasn't any picture listings. But yeah, I see that there's these other boost boxes over here. But yeah, I'm seeing possibly more stronger Fusion Strike boxes. And for Brilliant Stars over here, Brilliant Stars has sold, having some consistent sales lately. 2 sold yesterday, then 1 before, and then 3 the day before. Brilliant Stars sold is up about $5, and while Fusion Strike was up about $8, so it went from $751 to $759. Chilling Reign was up $8, so that went up. And like Chilling Reign, Vivid Voltage, I already said, was up 13. And so Brilliant Stars over here, yeah, so there were some cheaper $390 boxes. I think they were sold, and now we're back to about 385. Once those are gone, then it'll go back to about 410. Astral Radiance. So Astral Radiance still kind of slow, but there is a little more sales. So there's these 2 sales, this one plus 1 picture listing that doesn't show up on the graph. And yeah, just see still some 373s. Just yeah, a lot of people just selling at this price. We haven't quite reached the 380 mark yet. Lost Origin does look a lot better. So 2 sold yesterday, 5 sold the day before, 2 sold the day before that, and you know, Lost Origin has gone down to like 470 in like the last week or so, and it's been usually around 505 or 500. And now I'm like, I don't see any really cheaper boxes anymore. I see these 515s essentially from these 3 sellers, and then like we're not like, then there's, it goes like 530, 545, so possibly might run up kind of soon actually. And the Silver Tempest sold kind of consistently the last couple days, so 1, 1, and 2. But we're still at the point where like I would like it to hit the 370 mark, but we haven't quite reached there yet. Like there's still these cheaper sellers. All right, that's it for today's video. Hope to see you guys at the live stream later. Thanks guys, bye.